Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? This is Eric here for Faster Human. So today a new episode talking about different things in regards of the difference of diets that we seem to face every single month, every single year, every single time there's a new year resolution. We have different diets, and so I'm very curious about what diet are you on right now, right? I'm pretty sure you either following keto, or either you following carnivore, or you're following a vegetarian diet. So there's so many, there is tons of different diets available. And so we definitely, as humans, we try our best to maintain something different every single time. And so this is part of one of the things that I consistently talk about, because every single time you're trying a new diet, some are very consistent to maintain their a routine where are be able to kind of sort of being easy for most people, not for everybody. And this is one of the things about being sustainable when talking about sustainability of nutrition intakes and diets. So one of the things that I find interesting is that as people are continuing, trying to figure it out what to do every single year as far as the nutrition intake is, I think, and for most part, is how of the restrictions of these diets are sometimes, and so that's what I see a lot from different clients, is that I couldn't keep up with it because I'm busy, I'm constantly have all these busy schedule and so on and so forth. And trust me, and I get to hear this every single time. So because of the busy schedule, it throws you off from portion control, from whatever meals you had for the whole day. And so it puts the person into a huge predicament when they're following a particular diet, because of the time frames in the schedule, family, and also so on and so forth. Because trying to be sustainable is, to me, is be able to know that I can be able to sit down and relax and enjoy a meal, or be able to enjoy the most important thing, that is of having this particular food intake without any type of restrictions whatsoever. But you have to be mindful that the best foods that you eat, the best results you get. So whether it's vegetarian, whether it's paleo, whether it's carnivore, at the end we're gonna have to find a way of balancing things out between all these type of nutrition intakes of the particular diets. I'm a certified nutritionist, and I'm outside here to be able to tell you what you should be eating or you shouldn't be eating on a daily basis. But I think the most important thing we need to understand is what happens to our bodies. And I talk about this in previous podcasts, is that we are constantly, trying to kind of sort of make shortcuts on our nutrition intake, but there's no other way. But I think the most important thing is to listen to our bodies and to understand that we have this particular hormone imbalance that we have created with our nutrition intake every single year, every single week, every single month. We have created these imbalances. And to me, being sustainable is be able to understand that, hey, I feel better, for me particular, and for the thousands of people that are following the community of intermittent fasting, is that they are much more kind of sort of, hey, I only have about 5-hour window today, or I have a 4-hour window, or I have 2-hour window. And so these kind of sort of patterns, does it make a huge difference? Yes. And because one of the things that you let your body do is be sustainable. It is, hey, I have a stored body fat. It's not there for looks, and I said this before, and I said it again, it's not there for looks, it's utilized for a specific reason. If you have a stored body fat, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, or more, it's not there for looks. It's going to be utilized. The body needs to utilize it and be so a kind of sort of way super smart about, hey, I have in store body fat that is going to be utilized if you're not eating. And this is one of the things I tell people is like, hey, you decide what you put in your body, but then you got to understand there's something happens within your body, right? Digesting as a process, and it's stressful, and it can be super stressful to the body doing it all through the day, all from the moment you wake up all the way to the end until you go to sleep. It's stressful. So you create these imbalances or we create these imbalances because I was there. I was 220 pounds and I was trying to figure it out what in the world I was doing wrong, besides just working out like a maniac, right? And so I think a lot of people that are working out an hour and a half, 2 hours, that's not necessary. It is not necessary to go that crazy unless you're training for being an athlete, or you're an athlete who's training for specific things or whatever competition you have. So what I find super interesting is that most of the people that are sitting down and be able to talk about their nutrition intake is that they try something in particular. Some of them are in a portion control program. They are portioning control through the day, the amount of foods they're going to eat. Now, we have people that are eating sporadically through the day. There's no portion control. But yet the problem is still there. How in the world are you gaining weight? How are we gaining weight? Well, and the only thing and the only explanation we can talk about is insulin resistance, and so is glycogen deposit in our bodies that is going to take place after we eat. And now when we eat, and automatically this will happen, is that bodies stops from burning fat. This sensor in our bodies, this particular hormone in our bodies, is telling the body, hey, it's time to feed. There's no more fat burning because we are feeding our body. And so, I didn't understand that part of it for many years because I was sold in the whole idea that, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And one of the things that I tell people is, yes, breakfast is the most important meal of the day for a child, not for a grown adult anymore. The bottom line to things is that we are consistently focusing on the things that necessarily doesn't help us. Yes, juices, fruit juices, vegetable juices are good. Don't get me wrong. And I have this conversation with somebody who does juices in the morning, and first thing in the morning they're drinking a juice. But do you know what happens in the morning? The moment you wake up in the morning and drink a juice, yes, you spike insulin. Now, is it healthy? Yes. Is it good to start your day with a juice first thing in the morning? I don't think so, because I've done that myself, right? So give it take an example of insulin spike. What it creates this imbalance in your body is for you to gain weight. So you're gaining, you're storing, you're putting calories into your body, so the body is going to do what it's going to do. It's a story, especially with amounts of sugar or carbohydrates, depending on what you have, from the beginning of your day. So it's going to store it. You're not feeding mode. So you want to make sense of it. You are trying to make sense of it. So one of the things that I tell people is, look, this is a practice that is going to take some time for you to be able to understand that if you only focus on water, hydration, key essence to your body, because once you are put this most important thing, hydration, in your body every single day, is the most important key in your body for muscle growth too. So the more water, and the more helps the body out to be able to maintain lean muscle mass. And one of the things that I tell people is, look, if you constantly eating, right, every single day, and you're trying to grow muscle, even if you have the skinny look, the body is not going to respond because of the way you eat, the way your lifestyle, the way, how many times per week you're drinking every weekend, the way your sleeping patterns are getting better. Muscle growth is not going to happen because of the way you're constantly not getting enough sleep every single night. So this is one of the things that I tell people is, hey, we need to make sure that we have a better pattern. And the only way to do so, and the only way to make sure that this happens, is because you are creating a better lifestyle again and again. Now, I compare when I was 34 years old and the way I was eating, the way I was drinking juices. I had juices like apple juice, orange juice, all these juices that I was drinking. I thought then a certain way was healthy because it's a fruit. But I was completely wrong, back in I was 34, and that I don't need it to drink all that just to focus on water, green tea, black coffee. I didn't have no clue until in my early 40s that it was gonna take a toll on my body. So I know that you're constantly asking yourself, but how is it that your body can respond when you're not eating? Because the body, once again, is not stupid. The body is going to utilize what is in store, and is going to utilize it because depending on how many hours have you fasting, 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, it's going to utilize it to be able to make sure that it's utilized as an energy source, because we are changing this metabolic system to utilize the stored body fat as an energy source and continue going through the day. And I find it easy for me, for example, right? Give an example is that for me, it's an hour window to eat, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But other than that, just feeling that, knowing that I can feel my satiety hormone already telling me, hey, enough is enough. And just getting that feel of it is very important to me, and knowing that I can be able to accomplish every single day, every single week, to make sure that I get the most out of, be able to get the essence out of fasting. Now, do I recommend it for you to do it every single day that way? No. On the weekends, I try to be more flexible. I try to have it a 4-hour window. I just hydrate. I try to make sure I close my window earlier, so I'm not eating late at night. I can tell you for experience that eating late at night for many people creates this imbalance too, with your circadian rhythm, and going back to what these imbalances are. Because the main thing is being sustainable with intermittent fasting has made my life much more easier. For a lot of individuals in the community of the intermittent fasting, they have to understand that this is a process that you don't want to stick around with the 16-8 forever. And this is one of the things that I tell people is that you need to make a change every single week, every single month. Because hey, look, if you want to go vegetarian for quite a few weeks, go vegetarian for a few weeks. Try it out. If you need to utilize carnivore to start for a few weeks, try it out. Make a season out of your food. Make a season of, hey, I'm gonna have more fruits this week. I'm gonna have more vegetables this week. And let me tell you something, guys. One of the things I'm not against is the amount of fruits and vegetables you should be eating. The thing that much more concerning to me is the amount of and I don't want to get into this topic per se, but then it's the pesticides utilized into our fruits and vegetables, when it's agriculture. It's not the same what it used to be, talking about 70 years ago or 80 years ago. We're dealing with so much of, these chemicals that they put into our food. So, and this is one of the things that we're trying to prevent. So that way, the selection of food have to be a huge requirement to become the best foods that you can possibly eat. So being sustainable to maintain a healthy lifestyle, a longevity lifestyle, makes a huge difference. I keep continuing learning much more every single time that I dealing with individuals. But yes, one of the things that I see a lot in the community is that you find whatever window it fits best for you, and then move on to try to gain the most out of your consistency of eating, training, being active, getting enough of rest, sleep patterns getting better. So that's the sustainable part of it, because then you're not so concerned about, I should be eating this or I should be eating that. try to find what the best time is necessary, because I know, when I share on Instagram and I show them what I eat, or I show them that I have this particular time frame for fasting for 3 days, or the 72-hour fast, right? So the main idea to this is to create something that it makes me feel good, in the long term. And so it's not every single month it's gonna kind of fluctuate. I did the body scan through the Evil 360, for example, just to give an example, right? Last month on February, it says that I was my bio says that I'm 36, and that my visceral fat was optimal, and everything was good. Then the following month, for March, which is last month, I did a scan again. And one of the things I noticed when I did the scan is that my bio age was 38, not 36 anymore. But compared to being 44, it's a huge difference, which is, I still like that. But then my optimal body fat, it was not optimal anymore. It was just, kind of so balanced. And so I acquired some specific amount of really just overall body fat, not visceral fat. But I noticed one thing only. It was my sleep pattern. I can tell you guys that sleep patterns have to do a lot with it, because from February to March is a huge difference because of my sleep patterns. And that can have a whole different reading when it comes down to how much rest are you getting every single day. I'm hoping that this time on my reading on the month of for the month of April, it's going to be a completely different reading. So jumping into the my 72-hour fast coming up for the month, or the middle of the month of April, so that I want to see what's the difference between numbers in reading the numbers of and what the potential are for these specific things. I mean, if you guys want to check it out, the Instagram page, it's going to be available to you on the links available on the description below. But I just want to tell you that this is one of the things that I tell people, like, look, not every single month is going to be the perfect 72-hour fast. And it's going to be, I have 72-hour fast where I finish on a 48-hour fast instead of 72. It's got to do a lot with the environment. Sometimes, dealing with family, dealing with all this stuff. I definitely will never do a 72-hour fast on the weekends, because the weekends is for my family, be able to spend more time with them, enjoy going out, do different things, going out, eat. And this is one of the things that I will never do a 72-hour fast on the weekends. On the weekdays, in the middle of the week, for me, it's perfect, because it contains for me to stay busy at work, especially the connections with different clients and different people. It's necessary for me to be able to stay busy. So yes, for example, on a Wednesday, Wednesdays are perfect because I'm busy all day, and so it keeps me busy, and so I'm not thinking about food when I'm busy. The same thing with Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that's when I actually start my fast. Is on a Monday afternoon, somewhere around midday, between 1, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. That's where I will start my fast, and then I will try to break my fast on the 72 hours around the same time. Breaking the 72 hours, I utilize 8 ounces to 10 ounces of steak. I try to stay with a minute of water. I try to make sure that my steak is in a kind of sort of fatty, nice, really good size of steak to eat to break my fast. Because of time frame, I would love to do like a bone broth soup with beef, right? But I don't do that in a custom base. I have done that. I think I utilize a little bit of those noodles that which is rice noodles, and it can be perfect. So one of the things I can tell you is the difference between that breaking your fast is just that this is a specific amount of carbohydrates, and I try to make sure that there's no carbohydrates when I break my fast with it. So I think perfect for me works perfectly, that 8 ounces to 10 ounces of steak. Some people say, but why would you break it with like that? Well, number one is it's super slow to the digestion. Number one. Number two is it's just it's kind of sort of like an easy way to be able to intake that protein, but slowly. So to me, Hana is it's a good way to be able to utilize that breaking the fast. The only thing I don't do any spices besides black pepper and sea salt to be able to kind of sort of season the meat, right? But just want to remind you that in order for you to continue that accountability, I have a chat group. I have a group on Life or Make that you can be able to check it out on the bottom on the links, and then you guys can be able to sign up if you guys want to sign up and join me on Circle of Trust, on the Fasting Human Circle of Trust, and they'll be able to kind of sort of follow us there. And so one of the things, you want something sustainable. That's what you want. You want a sustainability from your job, sustainability from your crazy schedule, your sustainability on your food, sustainability on your sleep patterns. Be sustainable and essential for your body for regenerating energy. Bring just the overall factor that you want to make sure that you get to the next level every single time. And the reason being, I want to have these conversations and be able to have conversations with clients and talking about it. I only suggest what they need to be doing and approach that they should be coming, especially on the sleep patterns, especially on the eating patterns. It's just a suggestion, and I would suggest, listen, I think that changing your eating patterns can make a huge difference. I think it has made a huge difference for me and the thousands of people that I see on Instagram, Facebook, with the people on the Spanish version of Ayuno Intermittent, which is Intermittent Fasting. I do have a group on Facebook, so that way people can sign up to it. So this variety of different accountabilities and tools that can help you out is essential, and I'm glad that I'm doing this video on YouTube, because the conversion of the video and the audio is even just a little tricky for my audience on the podcast. I just want to tell you guys, it's been a little crazy busy for me, but I just want to tell you that I'm trying as much as I can create content for you guys every single month, and be able to tell you in this particular journey and understanding that one of the things that I want to talk about in this subject is about the mental health and meditation, and the key essence to this a new pattern of way of living, to be able to concentrate on, be able to let go so much of the stress levels of the toxicity in your body, toxicity behaviors of other people. But I'm gonna get to that in another episode. But right now, I want you to be sustainable. Sustainability is important, and you know how to help my sustainability on this YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me, because I'm looking forward to continue making more, and because you care and you share, and sharing is caring, makes a huge difference for this channel. And thank you so much for listening and checking it out, this video. So I'm looking forward to meet you in person one day, shake your hand, and talk to you guys. Have a blessed day. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.